Hypatia of Alexandria. Early life in Alexandria was about 370 when she was born. Her father was Theon of Alexandria. He was a mathematician and a philosopher. He was thought to be the last head at the Museum of Alexandria. He taught Hypatia everything he could teach her. It was said that her father attempted to make the perfect person, and that he may have succeeded or came close to it. She was beautiful, tall, and slender, and it was known that she was in great shape. She began to question the teachings of her father, so she took a pilgrimage. She traveled extensively so she could learn as much as possible. Her major interest was religion. She studied every religion, and this contributed to her later teachings. She was thought to have the gift of gifts. This meant that she had mastered the art of vocal speech, which was the most important in those days. She lectured on philosophy, mathematics, and astronomy. She was said to be charismatic and the first woman to make a substantial contribution to the development of mathematics. Her view in philosophy was referred to as Neoplatonism, which refers to teachings of Plato and Platonism. She taught that to teach superstition as truth was the worst because it could not be refuted, but truth is a point of view that is changeable. She was said to practice hypnotism in her classroom because her voice was so nice that everyone loved to just listen to her talk. She could captivate a room, and the people in it had no idea what she was talking about. Her philosophy had more of a scientific basis than that of the previous teachers of Neoplatonism. She taught that there were two kinds of thought in the world, new thought and secondary thought. New thought is made up of thoughts you yourself think. Secondary thoughts are supplied to you by jobbers. Therefore, new thought is the truth for the person thinking it, but secondary thought is shoved down your throat to be accepted. She divided the society into two parts, one that loved her and others that despised her. This is a drawing to show how saddened some people were by the brutal murder of their beloved Hypatia. This happened outside a church and at the bequest of a bishop, because of his fears that she would be in the ear of someone that had as much power as he did, and he took over and had her ordered to be murdered. Hypatia had a lot of influential people that would come to hear her lecture. She had the ear of Orestes, the governor of Alexandria. This scared the bishop at the time because he shared the power of the city with this man. Orestes quoted Hypatia to the bishop. Fixed, formal, and dogmatic religion would paralyze the minds of men and make race in time incapable of thought. After this quote is when the bishop is said to have ordered the mob to kill Hypatia. The mob pulled her from her chariot and dragged her to a church and began to brutally murder her. It was said that they used oyster shells to tear her flesh from her bones. In fear, they burned the body so no one would know what they had done. Although not much is known about her contributions, there are several speculations. She was said to have written several commentaries, which are modern-day editions of editing. She came up with an astronomical table with her father. She helped design an astrolabe, which is an instrumental device, and a hydroscope that may have measured the weight of water. These are now used to measure liquor and water ratios. She was thought to have edited many works on geometry, algebra, and astronomy. She was the first female salary director of Alexandria. She did work on a commentary that divided a cone into sections by a plane, and her students understood her teaching of geometry and were able to pass it on after her death. The end. Ugh.